And now, Fireplace Philosophical Fuzzies.
Featuring a giraffe and a half and chiropractic principle number 21. The mission of innate intelligence.
And if you glued a rose to the tip of his nose, you would have a giraffe and a half with a rat in his hat looking cute in a suit with a rose on his nose. Imagine this. You go for a walk all by yourself and you're enjoying the warm sun or the cool breeze. And after 15-20 minutes you go home, and there on the doorstep, right at your front door, you see a perfect circular arrangement of leaves right there on the doorstep. And you look at that, and it wasn't there before you left. And you look at that, and you kind of smirk, and you think to yourself, I wonder what's going on. You look around, there's nobody there. You go inside, and you ask your spouse, your friend, your brother, sister, your roommate, and you say, hey, what's the deal with the leaves on the doorstep? And then they all deny it. If you're like me at all, you're going to go the rest of the day wondering what in the world. Somebody's messing with me. Somebody put those leaves right there. They couldn't have gotten there just by accident. Now, William Dembski has said that we recognize intelligent activity because we're born with a certain amount of intelligence. And we recognize intelligence or design by a couple of things. We recognize it by a highly unlikely event with a recognizable pattern. So here's an example. Let's just say you're in the Black Hills of South Dakota and you're walking along for 5 or 10 miles, and all of a sudden there's a cliff. There's a steep drop off of 20 or 30 feet. We're talking the Black Hills, not the Rocky Mountains here. Well, this is a highly improbable event. There you were on flat terrain for miles, and then all of a sudden it just drops off. Highly unlikely. But now let's say that you're walking, and then all of a sudden you come into what looks like the faces of 4 former US presidents. Now you have a highly unlikely event with a recognizable pattern. A couple other examples of things that follow a recognizable pattern. The freeway system. The freeway system, if you leave from Oceanside and you get to Los Angeles in 2 hours, it would be correctly assumed that you had to take Interstate 5 in order to get there. But also that you would have had to travel through Camp Pendleton, San Clemente, San Juan Capistrano. You had to go through Orange County in order to get there. So the same thing in the nerve system. When we do our adjustments to the top of the spine, in order to get the immediate postural change, we had to go through the cerebellum, or this little back part of the brain back here. And the same wiring, the same circuitry, since we had to go through that part, we also had to necessarily influence, a positive influence, on the amygdala, which is our ability to handle stress, the hippocampus, which is our ability to learn something and to remember facts, but also our hypothalamus. So when we get adjusted, it's not just affecting the posture, it's affecting our whole entire body's chemistry. Pattern recognition is a major part of a child's cognitive development, but it also plays a role in forensics and some other sciences. And pattern arrangement is part of chiropractic principle number 21, the mission of innate intelligence. The mission of innate intelligence is to maintain the material of a living being in active organization. And if a bumbly old bee stung him right on the knee, you would have A giraffe and a half with a rat in his hat looking cute in his suit with a rose on his nose and a bee on his knee.